Today I'm going to unveil a car I've been teasing on the channel for a little while now. But before I do that, I have to move the Datsun as it is very inconveniently placed in the very middle of the garage, taking up pretty much every parking space. Reason why is because we've been working on it. It's been giving me a little bit of issue, but let's go ahead and move that so I can show you guys the new car. Now, as you can tell, it is actually running a little bit better. It doesn't like over idle on the start now. But we kind of encountered a new issue after working on it, but let's go ahead and pull it out. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about it once we get it outside. Okay, so I am having a couple problems with the Datsun right now. On startup, it actually idles a lot better. It doesn't over rev like it used to, but now, if you can kind of hear it, it's kind of wavering up and down that idle, and it gets a lot worse as I drive it. And we think we know what it is. We think it's an exhaust leak because our AFRs are all over the place with the car. So one of the cool things about the Datsun is we added this fast system, this fast screen right here. You can see all the data, and as you can see, it's going like from 850 up to 900 and sometimes to 950. Well, of course it doesn't do it when I put the camera on it, but our AFRs are bouncing a little too much there, and that's something that's not supposed to happen. AFR is an air-fuel ratio for the people that don't know, and basically that's your mixture, and it's monitored by an O2 sensor in the exhaust. So we think we got a bit of a leak. I'm hoping it's not something worse than that would be causing the fluctuation. And I think I'm running rich. So we're gonna work on adjusting that, seeing if I can find that. We'll rip the Datsun apart in a different video. Today is all about the new car. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update of where this car has been. I know we haven't really shown any cars on the channel recently, and it's because all of them have some sort of issue with them, but I'll get into that in a future video. For now, let's go ahead and pull the new car into the garage. I will say, even though the Datsun is running kind of rough, look how beautiful she still is. I absolutely love this car, especially kind of this angle, this shot right here. I think it's just so good looking. This is one of my favorite styles, my favorite body styles of any car that exists. There's a reason why I bought this car. Now, classics are kind of a pain to maintain and take care of, as I have found out on this automotive journey that I've been taking with you guys. There's nothing you can say that would make me hate this car. I love it so much, and I have some big plans in the future for it as the channel grows. But let's go ahead and show you guys the new car on the channel. Now, a lot of you will be kind of upset with me for this purchase, but trust me, there are some big plans. I'm gonna give you guys one last second to guess what it is. A little hint, it's gonna be a track car, and it is an American car, American made, which is something new on the channel. We've only had Japanese vehicles on the channel before. So in 3, 2, 1, here is my new 2007 Chevy Cobalt SS. Now, I know a lot of you guys weren't expecting this car, and probably a lot of you actually clicked off the video as soon as you actually saw the car. But trust me, this thing is so much fun, and I cannot wait to make a bunch of videos with it. I'll go ahead and pull it inside the garage. I want you guys to hear what it sounds like, because this is a supercharged 2-liter motor. So it's actually making more power than the Datsun 280Z and the Subaru BRZ. So let me go ahead and start it up for you guys so you can hear what it sounds like. Sounds like Detroit in the background, so I'm gonna wait a second. I gotta answer a lot of questions that I know you have, and that is, why did I buy another car when the other 2 cars are broken? And the reason is because I bought the car before the other 2 cars were broken. I thought, oh yay, okay, we're kind of at a point where I can add on another project, and I wanted to kind of get into like track, maybe diversify a little bit, do a track build, go American at an affordable price. So that's what I did. And then the Datsun started giving us some major issues, and then the BRZ has a couple issues that, again, I'll talk about in another video. that we are going to be fixing here soon. Now let's talk about the Chevy Cobalt, what is going on with it and why I decided to buy it. So yes, it's a front wheel drive car, which I'm not a huge fan of front wheel drive. It is a front engine, 2-liter supercharged, and I specifically looked for a supercharged motor. These motors are way better than any of the other Cobalt motors, even though they have a higher displacement. And with that supercharger, you're getting into the higher mid to high 200 horsepower, which is more than the Datsun or the BRZ at the moment. Now, this one does have some modifications done to it. Obviously, it does have a little bit of front end work done. It does have a tune, so it could be pushing more power, who knows? The wing and the wheels, I believe, are stock. It is tinted way too much, and it has a full exhaust setup on it. There's quite a bit done to this car. With that, there's also a lot of issues with this car. As you can kind of see from here, the windshield is just cracked. It's done. There's no repairing it. We'd have to replace it, as well as some slight mechanical issues. This does have a motor that has been rebuilt, but it is a clean title, which is something that I wanted. And it's got a couple other weird little quirks, such as this transmission is kind of weird. It is kind of floppier than I would have liked. And that's just because there is like a bushing missing right there. It has this hardwired fan switch, which I don't even know if it works. And then it has something that the previous owner called a WAP box. I assume it's like 2-step. I haven't tried it because it would royally piss off anyone in the close vicinity to me, so I haven't done that. But basically, I assume you push on the gas, it's rev limiter, and it just whops. That's best I can describe it. Now, all those things are like kind of manageable. The biggest issue that I have found is I'm pretty sure that this transmission is leaking fluid, which the previous owner said he did a rebuild on the transmission because he actually worked for Chevy. Either something wasn't torqued down right, it's over torqued and it's leaking, it's under torqued and it's leaking, or on my way here, the transmission like gave out again. Which I highly doubt that the transmission's done. I think it's just something's not torqued correctly or tightened, or it's over tightened and so it's leaking. That's kind of the issue that I am facing here. And I know it's transmission fluid because it's coming from the front of the car where the transmission is, and it's red fluid. Luckily, I have a service appointment scheduled to get it looked at the nearest Chevrolet dealership. I'm not gonna drive it there because I'm a little concerned that if it doesn't have any transmission fluid in it, it's gonna blow up. But I have AAA, and AAA lets you tow 7 miles for free, so we're just gonna tow the car here in about 20 minutes or so. Before we do that though, my buddy Logan is coming by, the same guy that helped me pick up the simulators here and my workbench and helped me with a bunch of the construction here in the garage. And I'm gonna surprise him with this car because there's no way he expects me to have bought a car. So we'll see, let alone a Chevy Cobalt. So I'm really excited to get his reaction. I know it's gonna be just hilarious. As soon as he gets here, I'll pick the camera back up. Okay, so Logan is here and he hasn't seen the car in person yet. He's seen a couple photos of it. We'll see what you think of the actual car. So the idea of this car is it's gonna be a track car. So
what have you done? What is this?
So Chevy Cobalt.
I've seen a few photos of it, but like your windscreen is all what is this? What is the roof? Like what?
Oh yeah, no, I forgot to mention that. Yeah. Okay, so the passenger side door panel, as soon as I opened the door for the first time, just uninstalled itself. So we're
I thought you said this thing was a good deal.
It was a good deal. For what we're gonna do. It was. You want to guess how much I paid for it?
450
or 4,500.
4,500.
Yeah, so I paid 4,500 bucks for it.
Dude. I mean,
it's a good deal. It's okay. It's been modified. It's a supercharged truck. Dude, this is like OG Need for Speed car.
It runs good, right?
Okay, the motor runs well.
Good.
The transmission needs work, so we're gonna have that checked out today.
Okay. Cool, I guess.
Yeah, so okay, this is actually a very sought after car, and it took me a while to find a good supercharged. Here, let me pop the hood. Here, I'll show you. Trust me, you're gonna fall absolutely in love with this car once you see Okay, maybe that doesn't look as good as I thought. Okay, I remember like, okay, when I first opened this, I was like, yo, dude, that looks so cool, like the supercharger. But now I'm like looking at the paint and stuff.
Yeah,
it's okay. Like we can redo. Then we can. Like we can fix this stuff. It's got character.
It does have a lot of character. There's a lot of personality. I like the super dark tint on it. I bet you people love seeing this thing drive past.
They hate it, dude. I drove to my parents' house, which is in like a upper class neighborhood, and I got so many bad looks, dude. Like the tint, the busted window, the hail damage. Oh. It is like straight piped all the way back, so it is obnoxiously loud.
Oh, that's so funny.
So yeah.
I will say though that it's kind of sick though. Like you got leather seats in here.
Yeah, and actually the interior is pretty nice, except for like the seats are kind of beat up a little bit. But it smells good. It doesn't smell like anyone smoked in it or anything. It's like smells very clean. I did this because I wanted to try to diagnose the transmission issue, and then I found out it's a cable-driven trans that goes to like the front of the car. So,
man, you got some dark tint on here.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Like you cannot. It's just a reflection of the camera. I have plans. I have plans for it that you will find out in the next couple of days. But today we're gonna take it in, get it looked at, so you'll get to see it drive a little bit. Cool. And hopefully if the transmission isn't like completely busted, we can actually make a couple videos with this car as it sits right now, because it is actually like so much fun. It's like stupid fun to drive. Like hearing the supercharger and everything, it is so funny.
It's honestly pretty cool. Like, I'm here for it.
Here, let me shut the door real quick. Yeah, so, okay, yeah, it has its quirks, but it is going to be a, like, very fun car, eventually. Trust me.
I think you got a pretty decent deal on it.
Yeah, where else can you get a supercharged motor for under 10 grand?
How much horsepower does it make?
Mid 200s, maybe, mid to high. It could be tuned. I haven't dynoed it. I think it's tuned. The guy said it was tuned, which I believe because he has an exhaust on it, and like a full exhaust and a couple other like little wiring things done. So I assume that he's pushing more power out of it. I can't tell though. It does spin the wheels through first and second gear though, if you just like mash the gas. So it's pretty quick. So yeah, what are your final thoughts on it?
I'm curious to see where this is gonna go, what you're gonna do with this.
It's a car that, like, if I take it on a track or like autocross and I screw it up, it's not gonna like bankrupt me.
That's good.
Like the Datsun would, if I blow the motor on that or transmission or anything, it'd be very expensive. Or if I ding the body or anything, I would not forgive myself. Which I still plan to do some autocross with it, but like, right now, it's nowhere near a state to do that. And then the BRZ, it could do it, but it's my daily driver. So if I blow it up, it'd be kind of expensive to fix, and it would not be fun to fix because then I'd be out of a car for who knows how long.
You got some melted wires here. Did something happen with that?
Yeah, so that was kind of my fault. Whenever I did a battery switch on it because the battery kept dying, the battery leads were backwards. The red was negative and the black was positive, and I assumed that the red was positive and the black was negative. So I put the battery on backwards and it smoked a little bit and almost caught on fire. It didn't catch on fire. I didn't get it on video because I thought like, oh, it's just a battery change. No one needs to see that.
Still have fire extinguisher.
Really? Yeah, then. Yeah, I do. Okay, yeah, so luckily the car is still like, I thought I blew my ECU. A couple of fuses went out. And I had like the backup camera doesn't work. Probably the blinkers don't work. Headlights, and it runs, so we're good, right?
It's definitely gonna take a little bit of work for sure. All in all, it looks like it's got good bones. That engine looks a lot nicer than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Like you do have a supercharger on there, and for how much you paid for it, that seems like a deal to me.
That's the key, is like you get a supercharged 4-cylinder 2-liter for $4,500. You could probably get them a little cheaper if you didn't. Now I purposely found one with body damage because again, we will be like tracking this car. So it has hail damage, roof is destroyed, the undercarriage does not look good, but it runs, it drives straight, and it runs well. So yes, it has its quirks, but it gives it character. Anyway, tow truck should be here any second now. We're gonna take it to the Chevy dealership. They're gonna do a whole eval on it, and we'll see what exactly is wrong with it, especially with the transmission. Let's go ahead and pull the Datsun in real quick though. Yeah, that car's running a little rough. I'm not entirely sure what's wrong. Again, I think it's an exhaust leak with the Datsun, but overall, I think I know how to fix it. But we will see after we get the Cobalt sorted. While the Cobalt is away at the dealership, I think we'll mess with the Datsun a little bit, see if we can figure out exactly what's wrong with it, and hopefully get that fixed. I'm hoping it's an easy fix. I'm hoping it's like a gasket or just a small little exhaust leak that maybe I can weld up real quick with a welder, and we'd be done with it. But for now, I can't diagnose it. We're gonna focus on the new one, the rookie here, and see how it does.
What is this hanging off the back here next to
What? Wait, what?
What is
Oh,
that?
dude, I have no idea. I think it's the reverse light.
Why is it just...
Dude, I have no idea. And then, okay, this is my favorite part of the car.
Nitrous Express.
It does not have nitrous. It does not. I don't know why it has a Nitrous Express. I don't know what that is even. I should probably Google that, but like, doesn't have that. There's like tint on the taillights that's like fading off.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, no, a lot of weird things about this car. But it does have, oh, it has coilovers too. I forgot to mention, it does have coilovers. Coilovers, supercharged motor, 4,500 bucks. Not a bad deal. There's a lot of stereotypes with this car, but I think this thing's so cool. Now, it might take some getting used to. I will probably lose subscribers because I bought this car, but it's gonna be like so worth it once you guys, like, trust me, I have plans. I have plans I cannot reveal yet. Anyway, we'll wait till the tow truck get here. I think that's plenty of talking. We'll load it up as soon as the tow truck is here. Yeah, you're good, go ahead. You're fine. Just like that, car is loaded up. Hopefully this thing makes it to the dealership. I think it has a better chance making it on the tow truck than if I drove it. It does not sound happy. Like, the transmission is like making all kinds of noises. So we'll see if it makes it. I think it probably will. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
It's on, ready?
Oh my god! What the what the heck? What was that, dude?
I got you there for a second.
You totally fooled me. I was like, dude, this thing is slow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you just...
Dude, that's way fast. What? Going to drop the Cobalt off! What are you listening to?
We're here to buy a Camaro, a Corvette. So we're here at the dealership. The Cobalt, I can see it on the other side. We're gonna go get that unloaded and get it into the service department, where hopefully they'll give us some like not too bad of news. I know it's not gonna be good news, but I'm just hoping it's like, oh yeah, it's just a gasket, we'll fix that for you, no problem. Hopefully it's not like transmission rebuild, but we'll see. So he made it. He's gonna go ahead and unload the Cobalt for me, and then we'll go ahead and just drive it into the service bay because it can drive. I just didn't want to drive it all the way here. It wasn't too far, like 7 miles, but like I got AAA, so I'm gonna use them. It is a broken car, so it qualifies, and it was within their like free tow range. So we're gonna go ahead and take advantage of that opportunity. Little baby scream. Yeah, they go here. Okay, so Cobalt is dropped off. It is with Chevy now. It is all up to them. The burden has been lifted temporarily. We'll hear back in like 48 hours. Both the tow truck driver, like the AAA tow truck driver, and the Chevy rep were awesome guys. The tow truck driver's name, believe it or not, was Muhammad Ali.
It's a sick name.
Yeah, just totally badass. And then I believe his name was Rixton. I might be saying that wrong. He was the Chevy rep, which he was awesome as well. So super great experience so far. I'm just hoping that the news that we get back is good as well, but we will see. And we are back. It's been about a week since we picked up the camera and dropped off the Cobalt. Now, today we finally are gonna go pick it up, hopefully. I got a call from the service advisor and I don't think the news was very good, but we're gonna go ahead and head to the dealership, see what was wrong, and maybe even bring it back to the garage today. So let's go ahead and get going. Okay, so we're at Chevy and we went ahead and picked up the car. They did say it'd be about $2 grand to fix the trans and everything wrong with it. So I decided, since this is gonna be a track car, let's just make it a track car. So we're just gonna take it home, start tearing into it. I already have a new trans and shifter cable on order, so I didn't really feel like fixing this one for $2 grand. So we're just gonna see if we can limp it home, and hopefully it makes it. I don't know, we'll find out. I'm just gonna, if I can make it up front, I'll be pretty confident that I can make it the rest of the way back to the garage. If not, we got AAA and Logan's truck, so yeah, we'll go from there. I'm gonna try to use as few gears as possible to reduce the likelihood of this thing falling off.
Grayson is signing off the car, kind of doing some paperwork. Dude, it's so sketchy. It looks so sketchy to drive. The shifter cable has like popped off multiple times. I'm gonna go and follow the Cobalt all the way back, and we will update you if anything else happens. All right, so the Cobalt just pulled over. Let's see what's the deal.
Okay, so she's getting a little hot. She's sitting at 194. I do not think the fans are running to keep that thing cool. So I decided to pull over, let it cool off a little bit, especially for some reason, for who knows why, when the light is green, no one's going. So we were just sitting there, letting my car idle in 100-degree heat while the fans aren't running. So I decided to pull over. Also, I only have third gear, so I've been smoking my clutch every single time we stop and go, so I'm not a huge fan of this stop and go traffic. Figure we take a bit of a rest, maybe find an alternate route. Like the transmission, I'm okay with risking it, but when the motor starts getting into the 190s range, that's when I'm like, okay, that's motor territory that we might blow up. So I figured I'd take a bit of a rest here, game plan. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll cool off and we'll get back on the road here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's clutch smell, I hope. Yeah, see, we're getting some stuff here that I don't like, whether it's steam or
the smoke coming out of there.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's not like smoke and just clutch or steam, but I'm not liking the smell of it, so I figured I'd pull over.
That's coming out of right.
Yeah, here's what I'm gonna have you do. I'm gonna have you run to the garage, grab the fire extinguisher.
Gotcha. Okay.
And some water, please. And Logan has returned. My savior is here. Looks like he's brought the fire extinguishers, the ratchet set, and some water, so that way we can tide ourselves over. I did get a text saying that the tow truck will be here in about an hour, which isn't ideal, but I guess considering the circumstances, it's pretty quick.
2 hours later.
Okay, so tow truck has arrived. AAA has come to save the day again. We're not gonna drive the car up onto the ramp this time, unlike last time, because it was smoking. That's kind of where we're at. Fingers crossed that everything turns out okay. Annihilates, just backs up, completely shreds the Cobalt. That tow strap doesn't do anything. Yeah, it's not real. Like I was like, yeah, I know. I've been doing this. The thing's attached to the bumper, I'm just gonna rip the bumper off.
Yeah, check out the spoon.
It's a sign, I need to get a spoon Honda. Look at that, perfection. This dude just lowered it perfectly under the bumper. That's how we know this guy's like professional.
This dude's the boss.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, he's got the low car. He's got the blocks and everything, dude. Like, this guy knows what he's doing. Okay, I'm confident. Even though, like, he probably can't screw this car up any more than it's already screwed up, so I'm not really too worried about it anyway, but hey, I'm happy. Well, Cobalt's on the tow truck for the second time this week. That's great. So, kind of expected. I bought the car, I knew there were some issues with it, and I should have expected more, but I'm gonna look at it as an opportunity to do something really cool. You know, tear it down all the way to nothing and rebuild it back up. I think that'll be really fun to do. I mean, it will be a challenge, but I'm not opposed to that. So, and now I got Logan behind the camera helping me, so we should be a little easier than just me going out on my own. The biggest issue right now, it is 106 degrees outside, which is not fun. But I'm happy they're here. We're gonna get out of the sun and hopefully start tearing into this thing. We finally got it. We are driving back to the garage. We're sitting out in the sun for like 2 hours in 105 degree heat. Even the AC in the truck was having trouble keeping up. So if he had been any later, it definitely would have not been good. So I'm glad that we're getting this thing back to the garage and we'll assess the damage. That's it, we're back. Definitely not a great start to the series. It might be the first and last video of the Cobalt. Probably not, but we'll see how it ends up going. Hopefully we'll get this thing turned down and rebuilt into something really cool. Just not exactly how I wanted to start this off. So anyways, let's get it unloaded, get it back inside, and wrap this up. Scared me, dude. He took the ratchet straps off and started lowering it back, and I was like, nothing's holding that, and I realized the winch is still holding it. Dude, I thought that Cobalt was just about to eat itself 4 feet off that ramp. Oh man. Yeah, we're good.
The dot set.
Yep. No, we're good. Well, okay. Cobalt is now in the garage officially. It's just not under the circumstances that I was wanting. I was hoping we could do a couple like autocross stuff with it and before we really had to do anything, but it looks like there's a lot more wrong with this car than I originally thought. So we're just gonna take it down to bare bones and hopefully fix it. But it looks like that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope this was entertaining to you. If it was, please leave a like down below and leave a comment on what you think all is wrong with this car. And in the next video, we'll tell you if you were right or wrong. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time, bye. Kind of very inconveniently, I don't like that.
Inconveniently.
Yeah.